I watched the movie Joker over Thanksgiving week. And honestly, guys, I'm a comic book movie nut. I really love them. But when I watched Joker, I just found it to be ridiculous. It didn't work for me. I thought the messaging was way too overboard. It's really knocking you in the head with what it's trying to do. And even though it was well acted, it just wasn't for me. That's what I thought when I watched Joker for the first time in November 2019. When I was full of November 2019 optimism. Those words are so stupid to say, but it's so true. I rewatched Joker November 2020, and I realized, holy shit, I was so wrong. This movie's a goddamn masterpiece. It was so good, I ate half a Costco-sized bag of Popcornopolis zebra popcorn. Half! It was so good, it gave me diabetes. It's a movie you force your grown kids to see someday and say, yo son, this right here. Thank you for returning to the watch party. I'm your host, Gene. How was your Thanksgiving, beautiful? Mine was awesome. Only 3 of us got arrested this year. I would have gone with them to keep the party going, but they don't serve beer in jail. And why not? Jails are already just like downtown dive bars. They look like smell like piss. You meet new and interesting people. You swap stories. There's always cops nearby. The women are worn out and haggard. Where's the booze? But you didn't come to listen to my adventures of summer Bible camp, and I do have some lingering thoughts about the series so far that I didn't mention in the previous show. First of all, I really appreciate how the show is taking on the issue of rape and that it's being portrayed by a strong female character. I mean, come on guys. Big religion, cults, rampant sexual abuse. You know what I'm saying. You think Father's long game is to steal the eyes for himself in order to do good for everyone else? I don't know. You get God powers and your personality has to change. My people, my children, everybody must die! I definitely would. And finally, how in the hell is not Ragnar still alive? It was never explained why Mother spared his life in the first episode. It's never explained why Mother just forgets about him in the second episode. And now he's got all this valuable intel to give his not Mithraic friends. Like, what the f***? I really like this show, but that's just dumb as shit writing. And it's finally time for what you've all been waiting for, so you know what to do. Hit pause, watch episode 3 of Raised by Wolves, and come back. We start our recap and analysis in 3, 2, 1. The episode starts with Father trying to salvage what's left of the exploded General Grievuses and Mother getting logic bombed by Hunter. Glad that there's a foil to her lack of reasoning here. And then Mother just passively lets everyone know that Tempest is pregnant. Thanks for the discretion, Mom. Not Ragnar and what's-her-name find themselves living in a virtual reality while they're aboard the Ark for their 13-year journey to Kepler 22b. They decide that it's time to get to know their new son. Apparently the kid can't recognize that they're fakes because they're in a simulation, and also he never got to know his real parents since they've been at war this whole time. It's a bit unsettling to think that for people that are so forward-thinking on experiencing joy in their future, they have pulls so far up their asses that they're really not that adept at experiencing any. Back in present day Kepler 22b, not Ragnar awakens to his girlfriend amongst the wreckage of the Ark. Where is Paul? He immediately asked with genuine worry and concern. Did these two form a real relationship with the boy? Back at Mother's camp, Campion is allowing himself to be gaslighted by Hunter, who's actually making some really good points here. Campion begins to openly rebel against Father, who explains that he didn't take the eyes because he's only a service model, so there you go. Back at the dinner table, Dad's trying to make lame jokes, the kids are acting like assholes, and Mom's talking shit about everybody. Feels just like home. If you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding! How can you— oh shit, she's choking up blood. Feels just like home. Back at this disaster, His Holy Eminence explains to Ragnar that they can't rescue the children before they rescue themselves, which makes a lot of sense. It's also explained that the necromancers are a product of the Mithraic? You mean big religion responsible for mass genocide? Didn't see that one coming. Oh crap, all the kids are getting sick? And it has to be Mother, or else why isn't Campion getting sick? Father explains because you're special, Campion. Really? I got the same explanation when I asked why I rode the short bus alone. Mother comes to the first reasonable conclusion she's ever had and decides that she is a threat to the children. You must assist me in shutting myself down, she tells Father, and he says, okay. Just kidding. Of course he didn't say that. It's getting tiresome seeing Father having no balls, both literally and figuratively. Flashback to the virtual life on the Ark, and young Paul is talking about the Mithraic prophecy of the orphan boy. Another space Jesus, anyone? Ooh, woo! He's also building a model of a new Eden. Is this another form of manifest destiny where these people form their own destiny themselves, but say it was God's will the whole time? Interesting. And then a flashback within a flashback? Is anybody else getting confused here? Not Ragnar remembers his childhood where he was trained to fight and kill. It begs a question, which side are the real bad guys? But seriously though, this sequence was dope. I watched it 3 times in a row, it was so badass. And it turns out that the atheists are extremely anti-cyborg? Also interesting. Back at the wreck of the Ark, these Mithraic losers hear the cries of a necromancer coming overhead and know that Mother is coming. She ignores them for now and flies through the fuselage and retrieves vials of something. His Holy Eminence orders Ragnar to go up and deal with the necromancer. Are you f***ing stupid? Ragnar says. Send up one of your androids. Of course. And look at these 2 female badass twins. One of them is doomed. Run, lady, run! Oh, ah, and this part was really hard to watch. Mother does a scream of death, still not dead. Rips out her guts, still not dead. Plucks out her eye, still not dead. Still struggling to live, she accidentally falls into the borehole. Mother stares down the borehole with her new eyeball in her hand, is like, she is ruthless! The Mithraic think the coast is clear and one of these losers lets out a fart. Mother flies overhead and does that explodey scream of death thing. Everyone covers their ears, the earth quakes, reminds me of my ex. Meanwhile, back at Camp Hope, this is the part where Father's just so dumb, why even bother bringing him back to life? Anyway, the kids make a break for it. Meanwhile, back at the Ark again, it's discovered that Mother was carrying away vials of antibiotics. Not Ragnar is able to manipulate his eminence into sending the entire camp after the kids. This schlub is a weakling and won't be surprised if he runs into an accident by the next episode, as he is quite literally a monkey on their back. As the kids are trekking through the wilderness, young Paul gets separated. Young Paul is a memory of not Ragnar and his girlfriend giving him a pet mouse. And this is such a trip. Obviously, they're not his real parents, but they spent all that time on the Ark getting to know each other and love him just like their own child. Wow. And then young Paul finds a creepy stick totem. What in the hell is it doing all the way out there? Mother comes back to Happy Home to find out everybody is gone. And then, she's come undone. Didn't f***ing know what she was headed for. And when she knew what she was headed for, it was too motherfucking late! Don't panic, cries out Father. I know where the kids are, and by the way, it wasn't you killing the kids, but rather us slowly poisoning them with our food. See? We're good parents after... Are you us, Father? I suppose Father means Munchausen by proxy is good parenting the same way as leaving your baby in a hot car to boil to death. Or by smothering your toddler, dumping her body, and getting away with it in a court of law is as well. The children are now lost and can hear the footsteps and cries of predators all around them. But who's there to save them? Finally, somebody mans up. Upon returning to camp, Campion is attacked by a General Grievous, who is actually wrestled and pinned down by Father and thrown into one of the huts. Father explains to Campion that his only purpose is to protect him and the rest of the children, and without that, he has no reason to live. I believe this is a good character building moment for Campion. From now on, he'll be more wise to assess all the information and make up his own decisions. He is a man of the house after all. And in the meantime, Mom is still trying to find Hunter. He's being lured away by what seems to be something supernatural, something hooded and cloaked, and singing the same song that Tally was singing when she disappeared in episode 1. And then he falls down a hidden borehole. Dun dun dun! But catches a log, so I'm sure he's gonna be fine. And that is finally the end of episode 3. Jesus guys, that was one hell of a mega big episode. Are you as exhausted as I am? There hasn't been a bad episode yet, but I enjoyed this episode a lot more than I did episode 2. And I really like what they're doing with the story, so that means unfortunately, we're gonna have to let some more stupid shit slide, such as 12 years on the planet, Mother and Father never fully tested the food. Okay. Amongst all the wreckage, Mother immediately finds a medicine cabinet, takes only the antibiotics, and leaves all the other helpful medications behind. Okay. The Mithraic promised their followers eternal bliss, but never bothered to do any homework on Kepler 22b. Okay. Over 10 years in a simulation and not Ragnar never bothered to study the Mithraic religion. The actual man he's impersonating, and none of the Mithraic point them out as obvious imposters? Okay. We're begging you, HBO, just don't screw us over like you did with Game of Thrones. And that's the end of this video. Please like and subscribe. And what's the deal with the lack of communication? What's the matter, Watch Party fans? Are you just weak little pussies, or are you for brains? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching Sunday Night Watch Party.